What's up, everyone? Coach Tony here with egelloC College Prep. My name is Coach Tony. I'm actually a former UC Berkeley admissions reader myself. So I was behind the scenes. I said a yes or no to students back in the day. And then I did that, read over 20,000 apps. Then I became a UCLA outreach director, helped families over there. I've been opened my own high school as well, too. So the last 16 years, along with the help of our team, we've been helping students navigate the college admissions process to help you guys kind of understand this game of college admission. So this topic today is going to be on the UC Counselors Conference this past year. So our team and I got to attend a few weeks back as well too. A few of us went. All of us took notes and all of us shared all of our information in here. You can see here it is 53 pages long. I am not going to go through every single word of this thing. So we're going to skim through it as well. If you register for this training, you guys can access it. If you don't have it yet, there'll be a link. If I'm going to post it somewhere, so there'll be a link down below or somewhere so you can access the workbook, this workbook, if you guys want to access on your own as well too. All right, but we are going live to folks right now in Zoom. So really quick, just make sure Zoom is working again. In the chat, if you guys can let me know, we got a lot of folks here. How we have 200. There we go. 200 people here live. In the chat, you guys can drop your grade. If you are a 12th grade, drop a 12. 11th grade, drop a 11th. 10th grade, drop a 10. 9th graders, drop a 9. Just so I can make sure that the chat feature is working, number one, and kind of get a gauge of who's here in the room. I can kind of see I can cater, because there's a lot of topics that we covered at the counselors conference as well. So running through, we have a bunch of grades. We have I think we have all the high school grades, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good mix too. Good mix, no overwhelming one group or another. So yeah, fantastic. Maybe 11th grade. I do see a lot of 11s as well too. So awesome. Welcome everyone as well. So again, if you have questions at any time, if you want to drop them in the Q&A, if you're watching this live, drop in the Q&A. We're up to 220 right now. Very cool. So in the Q&A, drop it in the chat. I think I'll make time at the end to do some Q&A for you guys. If anything I kind of covered, feel free to stop me in the chat as well too. If anything's kind of unclear, I can kind of see if I can stop as we go. I am going to speed run it though. So if you're new, you're like, this guy talks really fast. I do. That's my natural speed. I go pretty fast as well too through the whole thing. But also, I'm trying to get through a lot of stuff. So again, there's a few things we're going to talk about. So every UC conference always starts with like a recap or like a look back, look forward kind of keynote. So I'll talk about that. And they had a few like mini training sessions that our team went to. So we all took notes. And again, we all shared it here so you guys can kind of take it. Again, if you are new to college admissions, a lot of knowledge. This is this is pretty much like your 101 knowledge of college admissions. For those who have been here or have gone through admissions, you know the gist of it. There's still a lot of very advanced things as well. Even me, I learn some new things every time I come here as well too. However, if you know the material, you'll see like, wait, I kind of know the gist of it. So it's good review, right? Good review for those who have known this, and those who do know this. It should be good for you guys too. I am going to use a chat a lot, so if you guys want to be ready, answer in the chat. Try to make it interactive, make it fun for us next hour. Okay, going through. So the first section of the keynote is always like a UC one-on-one kind of thing. So they invite all the 9 UC campuses to come. The UC office of the president, like the head of the UCs, they come, they do a little presentation of the recap, some stats and figures as well. So you can see this past year, 100,000 California first years admit, biggest in history, right? First time we hit over 100K. The admit rate up to 77% across the system. 41% admits were from low income. 42% was from test free, from first generation. Test free. So those who don't know, UCs don't care about test scores. So you don't submit any scores as well too. Their test-free policy is the thing. Dual enrollment, the change there, they're gonna be factored into your UC GPA. No retakes as well too. There's fee vouchers. There's something called the CCGI integration. There's certain folks. So if you record your grades and information on the California Colleges.edu, right? You can push it directly to the UC app is what that is. And they hired a new UC president as well too of the system, James Milliken as well too. So that's that, right? And they always go through a breakdown of all the various schools. So each school kind of has like 10 minutes to talk about or like 5 minutes, not 10, for like 5 minutes, they go up and they talk about, all right, here's our school and here's our stats, here's our figures. You guys can see this. This is data you'll see in the school website in a few months as well. This is this is like the first sneak peek, and then they'll post it officially on the website afterwards. So Berkeley, 130,000 apps last year. Holy moly, right? Only 14,000 got in. So you see the admit rate's 11% as well too over here. They are introducing new majors, right? So for Berkeley, new majors, electrical, computer engineering, environmental engineering, and Korean language is thing. They are building new houses. The reason why housing is really important to know is the more schools restrict the number of yeses they can give based on the number of spots they have in the school. So if a school can build a new dorm, they can add in another 1,000, few hundred kids. That's kind of why you see schools brag about new dorms. Is the more dorms they build, the more they can increase and bring students in every single year. Okay, so that's that. LA is the still has still most competitive UC, 145,000 application, admin rate less than 10%, 9% over here is the key. They shared their most competitive major is nursing, which is at 1% admin rate. Theater film was 4%, engineering 7% over here, right? Santa Barbara, you can see they have 110,000 applications. Santa Barbara is definitely a very popular school amongst the UC. A lot of our students really enjoy Santa Barbara as well. You can see the numbers over here. They did have a new chancellor, like new president of the school. They did have a few new majors as well too: history of policy, law and governance, and they're building houses. So 2,000. So basically by fall 2027, you'll see that Santa Barbara will be able to admit 2,000 more students by then. Is kind of the thing as well. Some trends, if you notice, for the size of the applications always go up. There hasn't been a year where the apps go down, so it always keeps going up every year. Is the key, but the enrollment stays the same, right? The admin stays the same every single year over here. Next school is UC San Diego with a 28% admit rate here. They are doing new majors. So they are the first UC with an AI major, right? So dedicated AI major as well too. Chicano Studies, Media Industries Communications. These are their selective majors. So these are the competitive ones if you're applying to the school: data science, engineering, public health. Their college ranking. So San Diego's a little different. San Diego's a little different than all the other UCs. They rank the schools by you rank the schools and you go accepted to a college. There's 8 colleges of this UC San Diego system. Each college has different requirements, so you kind of customize your college journey based on that. For example, there's like a more social justice college. So in that one, right, you'll have like a required social justice class as part of your curriculum that you'll take as well. That's kind of one example of that. In the past, you ranked all 8. Now you only rank 4, which makes sense because none of our students ever make it past like level 2, level 3 choice anyways, is the key. Irvine, 28% admit rate. Their top 10 majors. The reason why this is important, by the way, UCI is one of the 2 UCs that do admit by major. All the UCs admit by college, not major. Only Irvine and Santa Barbara. Those are 2 schools that admit. So these are the top 10 for Irvine, bio side, business admin, nursing, psych, computer science, mechanical engineering, political science, criminology, and public health. Meaning 55% of the score or more now apply to literally those same exact 10. So if you apply to not those 10, higher likelihood of getting in is the key. The general recommendation is if your stats are strong, doesn't matter for you. But if your stats aren't as strong as law students, right, I would avoid doing that as well. They are doing some changes, so they include a new music major. They're renaming some stuff too. So physical sciences is now psychology sciences is now psychology. Exercise physiology and exercise science. They have an UCI also has a new accelerated program, which is a 6-year bachelor's JD. So basically, you get your law degree, you could be a lawyer, direct 6 years with the scholarship opportunity as well. Okay. Davis, 44% admin rate. Over here, their most selected majors are computer science, design, business psychology, and pre-landscape architecture. But keep in mind, Davis does admit by college, not major, is thing. They did introduce their new bachelor's in business as well too. So that is new. So for those who may or may not know, there's only 4 UCs now with a business degree. All the other 5 have related majors, but only 4. You think of it as the word bird, right? Our team coined that word, the word bird. Berkeley, Irvine, Riverside, Davis now are the 4 UCs that offer business as a direct like bachelor's degree as well too. A lot of them do have master's degrees as well, but not bachelor's degree is the key. Riverside, 87 admit rate as well too. Most popular majors, bio, psych, business, CS, sociology, mechanical engineering. If you notice, same themes across all the schools, right? That's pretty much all these are racing together. There are new majors that are growing: business analytics, theater, education, society, and human development as well too. They also have a new chancellor at their school. Santa Cruz, 72 admit rate. Santa Cruz is awesome. It's a forest. It's located in a forest as well too. They are increasing housing, right? They are increasing housing as well too. It is one, they are almost like the AI hub for now. A lot of UCs, if you notice, they're building a lot of AI tools for the UC system at UC Santa Cruz is kind of thing as well too. So they're building a bunch of new housing. So expect this to go up in a few years. And last one is Merced, not Merced, yeah, Merced is they're going to keep growing. They're introduced new program, public health, aerobotics as well too. If you remember, a few years ago, they created the first BSMD program for the UC system. That's through Merced as well too. They take like 16 kids only per year, which is crazy. So that's pretty much the 9 UC system itself. In the chat, I see that you cover Cal Poly. Cal Poly is not a UC school. Again, I went to the UC conference, so it's about UC related stuff. Cal Poly is a Cal State. So we are not going to cover, even though a lot of the stuff can apply to the lessons, right, of this can apply. That's the big one. Some other changes, there's something called dual admission expansion. So basically, if you are eligible for the community college as well too, and you complete the stuff, right, they can allow you to do like a second wave of invites for admissions. There's a few changes this year for math as well too, right? A few changes for math is that in the past, taking stats counted for algebra 2 as well too. However, in the future, stats will not cover algebra 2, and the only way to repeat it, it's called validation, is through pre-calculus or higher as well too. There was a big talk about AI. We'll talk more about it when you get to the essay section. That was where I talked about more of it. But the whole UC's been, their stance is pretty like, hey, use it, don't use as you. There is something that they bring up because they have noticed a rise in it. One of the integrity agreement on you basically says everything you wrote was you, not robots. So too, right? So I think we agree with that sentiment as well too. We say use it for brainstorming purposes, but when it comes to writing or editing, don't use it. Again, you don't need to, especially the writing style, the UCs, you don't even need to use the AI as well. There's a few questions I'll teach you guys in a bit. Right. So that's kind of the first section over here. Any questions so far before I move on to the next one as well? Share the presentations after. If you registered for this training, you'll get it automatically. If you're one of our coaching students, you get it automatically. If you didn't do anything, text our team after. Our team will grab you a copy of it afterwards as well too. Do enrollment. I think I talk about later on, and if not, I'll add a little section to it later on as well too. I have 50 pages to cover. I am 15 minutes in. I have 30 minutes left. I have to go cover 30 pages, 56, 40 pages, 50 slides. I'm trying to go fast now. Certain UCs I made by major. Yeah, so 2 schools, Irvine and Santa Barbara, they admit by major. So when you're applying, you're basically, they only have so many spots for that major they can fill up, right? But for all the other UCs, they fill up the college because realistically, right? Especially parents who have been through this process before, you guys know the reality. But for all of our new families, when you go to college, you basically become undecided again because you don't know what you want to do. You have to do the prerequisite classes to declare. Because what if you take it and you don't do well in your prereqs, or you do it and you find out, hey, this is not for me? then you can move around this other spots, right? So because colleges are aware of this, you're admitted to the college of the majors. So all the majors on different colleges. So a lot of the engineering, mechanical engineering, aerospace, electrical, that's under College of Engineering, right? The big one that all the schools offer is called the Layers and Science College of like maths in there, history's in there, what else is there? Languages are in there. So very broad college as well. If you're one of those majors, you're being classified into that field, that college itself there. Okay. Is the GPA for 4 years, 10th or 11th? That's a good question. I don't know. Usually, sorry, I do know. These are based on UC GPAs. So these are typically UC GPAs. Actually, caveat, UC GPA with the caveat. So the reason why is a caveat low star as well too, is because some schools use capped GPA, some schools use uncapped GPA. So the 10th to 11th with a 4 class limit on each one. Some schools do that, some schools don't. So you'll see that the data is a little scattered a little bit. You can go through again. I'm going to post this after you guys can look for again. The schools will post this on their own website in a few weeks, a few months. So you guys can wait till then to find out the actual numbers. But just to give you guys some heads up, again, I would not look at GPA. If I think for those who are asking about GPA, might be new around here. GPA is one of the factors we tell students do not care about. Do not look at that number. It doesn't really mean too much there. Okay. Let's move on. Admissions 101. So all of our new friends, if you mentioned number one, you're brand new, this would be a pretty good training for you guys to kind of slow down and read through as well too. I'm gonna go through it pretty quickly. Admissions 101. What's a first year applicant, right? They used to call it freshmen, now they're calling it first year, right? So majority, everyone who answered earlier, your kids at 9, 10, 11, 12th grade, you're applying as a first year applicant, meaning you're a high school student and you're gonna go to college after. Those of you who did do it really quick in the chat, does anyone here do dual enrollment? You're taking a college class right now. Drop a yes in the chat if you are in taking a college class currently as a high school student, community college, junior college, even a 4-year school as well. A lot of yes as well too. You are also first year students, right? So even if you get your AA degree, by the time you graduate, you're still a first year student. To be a transfer student, you have to graduate from high school, take college classes, then you're a transfer student. So if you haven't gotten your high school diploma yet, you're a first year applicant. That's kind of the easiest way to think about it, right? Is all right. Again, this is the A through G requirements. The A through G is this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 7 categories of classes. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Earn a UC GPA of 3.0 or higher. If you're a non-California resident, 3.4. So the A through G requirements are the classes you're gonna take to graduate, to apply to the UC system. If you are in California, so here's a little caveat. If you're in California, this is the high school graduation requirement. So if you are in California, you're pretty much good to go because that's the same thing. If you're not from California or you go to a private school, charter school that doesn't follow the exact rules, then just make sure that you hit this along the way, right? So A is history, 2 years required. US history, world history is usually how they do it. English, 4 years. Take English every year. You're good to go. Math, careful. This is where it gets kind of fun, right? Math, 3 years required, 4 years recommended. For us, we strongly encourage you to think of recommended as required. So treat it as 4 years required for you. The 3 years starts at algebra 1 or math 1, depending on how your school does their math, right? It's algebra 1 or math 1, that's level 1. So however, if you jump to algebra 2 or math 2, right, you're jumping a grade that they'll retroactively give you 1 extra year of credit for the previous grades, right? So that's kind of how it means. If you did, so for example, those who did math in 7th to 8th grade, that counts as well. One thing to keep in mind, geometry is a class that's not validated by any way. You have to take the geometry class. There's no advanced class that will validate for geometry, okay? Next one is science. Science, 2 years required, 3 years recommended. Language other than English, 2 years required, 3 years recommended. It has to be sequential. You can't do Spanish 1, French 1, ASL 1. That's 3 1 years, right? Versus you want to do Spanish 1, Spanish 2, Spanish 3, French 1, French 2, French 3, ASL 1, 2, 3. That's how you can hit the 3 years over here. Next one, visual performing arts, 1 year over here, like 2 separate semesters, the same category thing. G is elective, 1 year elective, you're good to go. Or if you did the recommended. So for example, if in language you did 3 years of language, that third year will also count as your G. So G is pretty much easy for most students to hit because you're good to go. Okay. A through G courses, right? So there's a website. I don't think I put it on here. There's a website you can just Google, right? UCOP articulation. If you Google UCOP articulation, there's a site. It's like a blue background that you can take, and you look up your high school. If you're in California, if you're not in California, your school may not pop up on this list. So if you're in California, you'll see your school pop up on the list. It'll show you every class that you take. On next to the class is a star. If it's a star, it counts as a UC honors. Keep in mind, not every honors class you take in high school will get you college credit. Oh, sorry, will get you honors credit is the key. So keep that in mind. So some honors don't, some honors do. So the star will tell you what it is. Okay. Middle school, for those of you who did, I see people writing in chat, right? Middle school, only math and language and English classes from middle school does count. So if you took like an algebra, geometry, or Spanish 1, Spanish 2, those, yes, they all count as well. Okay. That you do not need to show on your transcript. You just got to take it and you're good to go there. Right. Other ways to hit your A to G, these are the more non-traditional ways to hit it, is if you take a college class or an AP, IB exam, you pass it, you're good to go, is the key there. Realistically, most people never need to do this because by you taking the class for this exam, you already got the credit, is the key as well too. Okay. You can repeat classes. So those repeating classes, you only repeat D or F. Keep in mind, a lot of people here, not a lot, there's people here that wants to repeat a C. Do not repeat a C. A C means you passed. They're not going to retro delete your grades or do anything like that. It has to be a D or F for you to repeat a class. If you got a C, you passed the class. Move on to the next thing. That's all it is. Okay, that's kind of the big takeaway over here. Validation. I used the word a few times. I didn't define it. My apologies. So validation means if you pass a future class, it can give you credit for an older class. The two types is omission, meaning if you skip the class, right? If you skip the class, you can take it. Let's say you didn't take Spanish 1, but you took Spanish 2 and you passed Spanish 2, then the validation, by you passing Spanish 2, you automatically get credit for Spanish 1. The second one is deficiency of a grade, meaning let's say Algebra 1, you got an F, but you took Algebra 2 and you got an A. Because you passed a higher level math, with a better grade, it will go back and validate the credit for you for Algebra 1. The F stays there, but you don't have to repeat because technically F is failing. You have to repeat Algebra 1. You don't need to repeat it again. That's kind of what the validation means as well. Okay. So that's that over here. Honors, there's a few type of honors: AP, IB, college, and UC honors if it meets the little star on the articulation, right? For out of state folks who are non-California residents, only AP, IB, and college. Your honors for sure does not transfer to the UC. Just a heads up there, right? UC GPA 3.0 for California residents, 3.4 for not. Again, as high as you can is the key. Keep in mind, I'm going to say this just to teach you guys, but my 2 cents, my recommendation, ignore this section. It doesn't do much in terms of recommendations in terms of what to do. This is just for good old knowledge, so we know we can sound smart talking to our friends, right? So the UC GPA, it's weighted and capped. You get a total of 8 honor points over 10th and 11th grade, up to 4 points in 10th grade, up to 8 in 11th. What that means is if you did 4 in 10th grade, you can do 4 in 11th grade. If you did 0 in 10th grade, you can do all 8 in 11th grade. However, if you did, let's say you do 4 in 10th grade and you only did 2 in 11th grade, that's all you can share. You can only share 2. You can't go backwards, if that makes sense, is the key, right? So that's the GPA. The math is pretty simple. It's like calculating your own GPA. It's the classes summer after 9th to summer after 11th. So the 9th grade doesn't count. 12th grade itself doesn't count, but the summer after 9th, summer before 12th, all that gets factored in to get it. There's no pluses or minuses. So it's per point. It is per semester. So if you have 2 grades on your schedule, you get a +1 for each of the honor points, +1 for each of the if it's an honors point. Okay, so that's gonna be the GPA factor. Comprehensive review. The reason why I say don't worry so much about GPA is that's one tiny thing out of a bunch of different factors that the readers do look at in your schedule. Some of it including GPA, rigor of curriculum, ELC. ELC is the eligibility to local context, is the key as well too, which is if you're top 9% of your high school or top 9% of the state. If you are, by definition, you are guaranteed admission to at least one UC. Realistically, that's Merced as of today, right? Is the thing. AP, IB credit, courses above A through G, quality of senior. I saw a question in the chat. Should not take senior year. Definitely rigor of senior year is the most important thing. So make sure you do that. Academic opportunities in school, outstanding performance in subject areas. There's no SAT, ACT exams, right? So keep that in mind as well too. Non-academic, special projects, special talents, awards, leadership, educational prep programs, accomplishments, geographic location, contextual stuff, income, education level, social academic background, school environment, academic opportunities, conference review. There are multiple reads. Again, I was a reader for the stuff that was read. So I read everything. There's nothing I skip. It's not like, oh, bad stuff. We read through every single part of the app to make a decision. The readers don't talk to each other between schools and between campuses as well too. So we don't know if you apply to Berkeley. I don't know if you apply to any other school, right? I don't know what the other people said either. So that's something there, right? I kind of jumped ahead. ELC, top 9% means you're guaranteed at least to one UC if there's spots, right? So as of today, there's some spots at Merced for those who want that over here. Okay. Timeline, you guys can apply. It's $8 per school. There are fee waivers. So if your family qualifies low income, you do get up to 4 schools for free. There's no less recommendations for or interviews for the UCs unless, by the way, little star, unless you get invited for augmented review. So for some of our seniors right now, something you may see in December, January is the UCs might reach out and say, hey, optional, can you fill out this question? Can you submit this? That means you're augmented review, meaning they won't tell you this, but I'm telling you from a reader's point of view, you're in the maybe pile, right? You're in the maybe, you gotta push yourself over to yes. They say it's optional, but it's not optional. You should highly do it. There's a reason why they sent you that, because they're stuck. They don't know how to push you one way or the other. So definitely fill out the forms, fill out the stuff to help you out with that as well. You do not need to submit transcripts. Unlike the Common App schools, you only submit after you get accepted to the school. That's it, right? Timeline wise, the app is open. A lot of our seniors are working on their essays right now as well too. You're going to start submitting as early as October 1st. So now, if you want to submit your UCs, you can submit them now. There is no practical benefit, though, from my point of view, to submit now. We have our own coaching students submit mid-November. That's also, so again, if you want to do it now, you can. There's no real benefit. Readers aren't even trained yet, so it was just in a pool of folks. So usually we have our students submit beginning of November, mid-November. Try not to wait till the last day is a thing, right? And then there's also FAFSA. So FAFSA is out. You guys make sure you do that as well too. And then in the month of March, all the UCs do on different days as well too. So you'll find out there. By May 1st, you have to submit your intent to register, the SIR. You basically commit to one school. Every other school assumes you, if they didn't hear back from you, they assume you didn't want to go. So they take everything back. Make sure you submit to at least one school by May 1st. Then that one school, then you submit your transcripts and you submit all your test scores and everything that you did previously. That is what's going to be over here. Okay. The deadline's extended because it's usually November 30th. This year is December 1st. So that's the heads up. Again, please don't do that, is the key. Okay. A few questions in the chat. How do you know your GPA if no transit? You're self-reporting everything. By the way, you don't want to lie. If you lie, so let's play it out. Let's say you lied. I got straight A's and in all classes. They accept you based on that logic. Then in June, when you submit your transcript and they say, there's a discrepancy. The transcript and your applicant don't match. They have a right to rescind your application. They can tell you, no, we don't want you anymore because you lied to us as well. And that's a really awkward place to be, because in July, it's done. You can't even submit to any other schools as well. So again, please don't lie. Everything has to be as fact. And again, you sign an integrity agreement twice, at the beginning of the app, at the end, saying everything is factually true to the best of your knowledge, is the key over here. Okay. moving on. Again, I see questions. Keep dropping them in. But I just for sake of time, I have. Oh man, I got 20 minutes. I got 30 something slides. Can I make it? Who knows? Admissions 201. So that was like the intro information for a lot of the folks who know admissions. That's pretty much like reminders, right? But this is like more a little more advanced stuff that some of the councils always like, ooh, this is new stuff as well too. So validation, we talked about that a little bit earlier today, with a little more detail of like what specific structure that looks like for math, right? Algebra 2, geometry, algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2, which is the 3 math levels as well too. So the omission, right? Basically, algebra 2 would validate algebra 1, 3 would validate 2, which validates 1. So if you skip to math 3 and you never took math 1, math 2, you're fine because that will validate you, boom, boom, is the thing. Geometry is not validated. So you have to take geometry somewhere is the key, okay? Is that one. Again, for new so basically for now, pre-calc and everything stats can override anything, but starting in fall, only these math ones will validate algebra classes. Stats will no longer validate algebra 2. So those who did like algebra, you skipped algebra 2, went to stats, and it counted back for you. We won't do that anymore as well. All right, so here's a fun one. You guys can play along with me. So first one, a student gets a C in the first semester of algebra 2 and drops the second semester. Then the next year they pass AP stats with a B and a C. So question, does the stats validate semester 2? In the chat, drop a yes or no, right? So they got a C the first semester, didn't do anything second semester. They passed stats with a C and a B. Do they get validation as well? We see a few yeses and nos, right, as well too. So no, beginning this year, they would not get it. But correct, the answer was yes, they passed. They did, right? So in the past they did, now they don't, right? Next one. Oh, I think the same thing. Okay, so this is now deficiencies. Same thing with academics as grades as well too, right? So this student right here, algebra 1 got a C and a B, geometry got an F and a D, algebra got a D and a B. The question is, right, does this student meet the C requirement, which is 3 years of math required? If this is the grade, if you are the reader, does this meet the minimum? Does this meet the minimum for the area C? People are flowing no. Answer is no, right? So the reason why the C is passing, B is passing, you're good, right? F, ooh, not good. D is not passing. If the student got a C in the second semester, it would have counted for first semester and second semester, then you're good. But because they got D both semester, like a failing grade both semesters, they have to retake geometry again in the future. And then algebra 2, D, they didn't pass it, but the B they did. So B will count for the D, which means they'll get credit for algebra 2. So they only need to retake specifically geometry semester 2. Did we see how that works? So if you retake, you have to retake the whole class. You have to retake semester 2. That will double count back to get you all the credits as well. It's kind of a cool thing if you understand how it works, right? So that's that. So changes, languages, same exact concept as well too, right? Same exact concept. 2 values 1, 3 values 2. You guys can see this. Middle school. Again, only 7th and 8th grade counts if you guys do this. There's other ways, by the way, to do language. So it's not just gonna be the taking the future classes. You can do school another language if your school is that. If they have documentation, you can use that. If you take a university test on it, again, official thing there, you're good. If a principal can certify it, if your principal says you're good, then you're good as well too, right? Out of states, for those who are not California residents as well too, right? Everything gets sent straight as well too. The UCs don't look at A through G for the other. There's no list of A through G, so you have to kind of vet it per requirement or per thing that your school does. As well, your counselor at other schools can help with this as well too, and they will be the one that can help justify the class as well. For out of state, only APIB college and your honors. If you went to New Jersey and took all honors, your honors means nothing to the UCs, right? Is the thing. So keep that in mind. Same thing. UCG is the same. Visual performing arts, nothing new here. So the same as well too. Mixed record. So those of you who went to some of this happened a lot. If you went to like a different country, you moved to the US, right? Like from India over China over someone over. So your schedule it's called mixed. You have your 9th grade transcripts is like from India. Your 10th, 11th, 12th is from the US or from the state that you're in as well too, right? So Share everything. The advice is share everything. The readers will validate and see which one counts as well too, right? So you guys can see this. Boom, boom. ESL, same thing. If you're not not from the US, there's something called English Language Proficiency, ELP. You have to pass as well too. For example, here, if a student transfers to Mexico mid 11th, mid 10th grade to San Diego, because there's less than 3 years, it's 3 years a magical number. If there's less than 3 years, you have to pass the English proficiency, which is like the TOEFL, the IFL, or other classes you can take to validate that as well too, right? Online courses you can take here. There's different types of credit recovery. There's online schools as well too. For example, if you guys think of like UC Scout, BYU, Silicon Valley, these are all online schools. There's also something called an online publisher as well too. So these are like the I won't say weird. That's not a nice way to say it, but they're basically places that you can just take credit. That's not officially a school. Avoid those. Stick more for the online schools if you are doing that option as well. Okay, and there's a directory if you want to check it out. That's number 2. Real quick, pausing questions. The webinar recorded? Yes, you could. This call is recorded. I'm gonna go through really fast. And again, if you guys opted into this training, you get the recording. If you're coaching families, you'll get it in Discord. We'll post it in Discord. And if you haven't gone yet, again, opt in. If you're watching the replay, there's a link down below. Just click on there and you're able to access this doc as well too. Okay. Next section, academic history. Actually, I'm going to speed up really fast. So just for sake of speed, there's a few sections. I'm going to go here. Which one do you want me to focus on? The next section is called decoding your academic DNA, academic stuff. There's talking about alternative majors. That's something new for the UCs. Talk about alternative majors to consider. We can talk about dual enrollment. That was a topic for the training. How to approach the PIQ, the essay questions for the UCs, the transfer process, or the application itself. I can probably do 2. I can go through 2 of them fully. So which one do you want me to just go through? I can a lot of PIQs. Let's do PIQ. That one. What's the second one? Second one. I see a lot of dual enrollment. Dual enrollment. All right. So dual enrollment and PIQs are the winners. Let's go through real fast though. Academic. Again, you have access to this. You guys can go through it. It's pretty our team is pretty good with notes, so everything was pretty like spot on. But basically, the academic section is talking about sharing everything on your thing, and the new software is called the California College Guidance Initiative, where you can put your grades and push it to the UC app as well too. If you did international classes, how do you share that? It talks about doing that. How do you do enrollment? You can share that into your schedule as well too. Over here. If you did a non-A through G class, so you took a real estate class, EMT class, anything, it doesn't fall under academics. It falls under the activity section of their coursework over here. So what else? That's pretty much it. Yep, that's it for that one. Right? Alternative majors really fast as well too. The UCs now have a major and an alternate major. Alternate majors hasn't mattered as much because most people go through the first round and run out of spots as well too, right? But they are recommending students pick alternate majors. So there's a few colleges like psychology, business, and life sciences that they highly recommend. If you're picking one of these, pick an alternate major that they may help you. They might consider a second major as well too, right? So all the schools, here's some recommendations. This is straight from the colleges themselves. They're like, hey, recommend these majors. So these are some of the recommendations from the schools for you to kind of share as your alternates if you guys are considering these or close-ish as well too to the different fields. You see that lots of different kind of categories as well. Okay. The big thing here is I'll share with this. Now, again, keep in mind your major is going to change. Your major is going to migrate and move, and your child's not locked into that field for the rest of their life. So don't feel like it has to be perfect right now. It can grow, it can evolve. So again, don't stress out so hard over here. Okay, is the key. All right, next one, dual enrollment. So let's focus on this one. If those who are new, right, dual enrollment, this is one of my favorite topics. And spoilers, nothing new this year. With if you know what we've been sharing, this is pretty much everything we've been sharing to our families as well too. Dual enrollment, taking a community college class as a high school student is definition dual enrollment. Here's the thing. Right, same guidance for all the different schools of like if you do it by yourself, you do it through your school. Like there's some schools like middle colleges, early colleges as well too, or your school has a partnership as well too. They're all the same. So whatever option you guys want to do, California is a very big thing for all the states. By the way, if you're not in California, your state also has dual enrollment. We have kids from not all 50, 40 something states as well too. All of our students are in dual enrollment. So that's the one kind of central thread for all our students. So definitely could find your equivalent at your school as well too, right? So there's the different classes. So the first thing of dual enrollment, you can use these to fulfill your A through G courses, right? So that's that first thing. So instead of going through your high school and taking the US history, the world history, the math, the English, you can use college classes to fulfill these requirements. Again, you just got to pass the classes, make sure it's at least 3 semesters, and all that as well too, right? So you have to check if it's transferable though. So there's a few resources they recommend. The UC reference guide as well too. Assist.org is a good one. Assist is like a central database you can share out to a lot of different schools. There's also the egelloC, CalGetC. We've been teaching that. egelloC is the name has been called up to like now. The new name that they're rebranding to is called CalGetC. So these are the same thing, right? The difference is that egelloC was geared mainly towards the UCs. The CalGetC is a more universal one of the UCs, privates, and Cal States all put together as well too. These are the classes that you take at the community college that are transferable to the UCs, the Cal States, and the broader, a lot of different colleges as well too, right? So keep in mind, again, this is just doesn't show A through G, only shows transferability of which one to transfer. You got to double check again. You want to basically look at the course list and see how it connects with what you're doing, right? So for example, if you take a math class, this is probably the easiest way to fulfill because your class at the class you need to take is offered directly, the same name at the college. Meaning, let's say you want to take pre-calculus. You can go to community college and take literally a pre-calculus class as well too, right? Or you can go take a calculus class. And then in high school, they call it Calc AB, Calc BC. In college, they call it Calc 1, Calc 2. That's the difference there as well too. The other thing to keep in mind is that these are, right? These are 1 semester long classes. It's not a full year is the thing. So you can get your math done in a semester. So a little pro tip, by the way, for those of you who are listening, right? We recommend our students use to speed up their math. So let's say, for example, you're finishing up pre-calc as a sophomore. Instead of taking Calc AB in 10th grade, 11th grade, take BC in 12th grade, what you could do, in theory, you can go to the college 11th grade fall semester, take Calculus 1 at the college. Then in the springtime, take Calculus 2 at the college because the classes are 1 semester each. And by the time you finish that, boom, you just earned yourself 2 full years of math. Done. No need to take the AP exam. You're automatically getting college credit for that as well too. So cool little trick. If you understand how that works, I would do that. One of our big recommendations as well too. Sciences, again, it has to have lab for it to count as a science. Low key, we actually don't recommend this for our students unless you have finished all the other requirements, right? But usually we like to recommend the science at the college, science at the high school before you do the college as well too. Okay, so that's that. Language, right? Here's the cool part, right? So language is a really fun one. So languages, you'll see that usually language classes are 5 units long. The reason why, by the way, these classes count as 1 year, the classes are 3 units long, three units long, 3 units, 3 units per class, right? 1 college unit is equivalent to 3.3 high school credits. So 3 college units is equal to 10 high school credits. If you guys look at your transcripts as well too, right? Your transcripts, there are 10 high school credits for every year-long class, aka that's why 1 semester counts as a full year. For languages, though, they're 5 units each. 5 times 3.3 is 16.5. So if you take a 1 semester language class, you get the same as a year and a half of college credit, right? And to make it more exciting, you take 2 semesters, Spanish 1, Spanish 2, right? That's going to get you 33 credits or 3 years of language in just 2 semesters. So really, really cool thing. If you understand it, go ahead, abuse it. So too, right? Language class is a bunch of like language classes, dance, music, theater. You can take that as well too. So where do you share it, right? So if you did take a college level course, you put it under the college section of the UC app. I think someone in chat said the high school is not going to give you credit. I don't care about your high school. Okay? Again, I always tell parents, your high school counselors, their job, they are paid to help you graduate from high school. They do not get any bonuses if they get you to college. Our team gets bonuses so when we go get you guys to colleges, right? So that's the difference here. Counselors do not like to recommend dual enrollment. Why? Two things. Number one, you're going to college. They have no jurisdiction over college. Have you noticed counselors are very protective? Very protective. They're great, amazing counselors, but they're very protective. They want you on the high school because they can protect you. When you go to college, they have no protection on you. That's kind of so that's their fear. Number two, these are free. They're not free. They're free for you. The school has to pay for it. So imagine if every one of you, we have over 402 of you. If all of you ran to your counselors, right, and said, hey, I want to do enrollment, they're going to cover all those costs for all those people, which is insane. So that's why counselors don't like to recommend this, because if they do, everyone's going to run and try to take more classes. So keep that, again, to yourself as long as you can. That's what's here, right? So that's that. Going back, I don't care if the high school, I care about the college. The colleges will see this. So on your UC application, even your other apps too, if you're applying to like the Common App thing, there's a section for your college classes. You're going to share this over there as number one, right? You're going to share, I took this class, if it counts as A through G. If it doesn't count as an A through G course, you can still share it. You put it under the other coursework in the activity section. So either way, you put your activities somewhere is the key. Okay, so that's that. Again, transcripts, you don't submit your transcripts, you just copy it over. So we say, just take your transcript, copy everything over on the app, and when you get in, you can send it in as well too. Okay. See, yeah, and the reason why we don't care, whatever, is once you get accepted, you send in your official college transcripts. I don't need to show up in your high school at all. I just want to know if the college, I can get a copy from the college, I can send that directly. That's the key as well. Okay. Do enrollment, it gets factored into everything as well too. For the UC GPA, it's one class, 1 point. So if you take a fall class, it's not 2 points, it's 1 point up as well too. So you take class of fall in the spring, that's 2 points for that year as well. Okay. Here's the thing, right? Here's the takeaway that a lot of people keep asking me, but Coach Tony, dual enrollment's only half a year. My school says APs are better because the full year is harder. UCs do not prefer college over UC honors, AP, or IB. Everything demonstrate rigor, and the best depends on your environment, course, and goals. I'm telling you, from a strategic point of view, I recommend dual enrollment because academics is not the most important part of the admissions process. The activities are. So that'll be a future training for you guys. For those who are like, what's that? We'll talk future training. The key is dual enrollment allows you to save time. We want to save time so that we can spend more time. Imagine the kids who do only AP classes, they have no time. How can you do more activities when you have no time because you're taking all the APs? That's why we recommend it's a system that works together. Okay, so that's that. Do enrollment. That's the do enrollment section as well too, right? PIQs. Let me jump to the other section real fast before we do it. So we'll go back, we'll finish here. Transfer. Those who want to transfer, go to community college and take as well too. So we talked about what's a transfer, what's not a transfer. So I gave you a few scenarios over here. Something cool about transferring, I'm going to skip real fast, and why you should transfer, right? It's usually a lot cheaper to go to a community college and after your flexibility. Did you know that 1 out of 3 UC students is a community college student? Is that crazy? So crazy. That was a poof, blew my mind. Blew my mind as well too, right? So the UC transfer requirements is basically to get your credits and you're good to go. The minimum GPA is a 2.4 or 2.8 over here. Be competitive. Something that's really cool. So I'll share this as well. If you are thinking about transfer route, there's something called TAP and TAG. Starting with TAG first. TAG is a guarantee. It's a guaranteed admission to one of the 6, except for LA, Berkeley, San Diego. Those are the 3 schools that don't do TAG. But all the other 6 schools have a TAG agreement as well too. So you can apply. You can tag to a school. That's a guaranteed acceptance at that school, as long as you meet the requirements is all it is, right? TAP is for like a tracking tool to help you increase your chances of it, but it was not a guarantee is the key as well. So some other tools as well, but that's kind of the big call out is the tag program for those who are considering the transfer pathway itself. And it's kind of here's like the timeline for transfer students. You'll see is very similar to the UCs, right? So the UC app opens August 1st. That's the same. The tag applications in fall of last month. So if you're a community college student now, you missed it by a few days. All right. Same thing. You applied October, November. You'll do FAFSA. Same thing. You apply, and then you will find out. I don't know how I'm here, but same thing. You will find out in the month of May. The deadline is SR by June. So they're like 1 month back from everything else as well. Okay. So that's gonna be the transfer pathway. And the app There's no real difference with the app, so the app is pretty much the same as well too. You see the timelines are good. About you, share about you. There's a new section this year about like if you're homeless, risk of homeless as well too. There is a demographic section on the UCs, but it's only for data, right? People think, oh, they're gonna use it, whatever. No, no, no. It's all in your head, right? So they don't use it as a reader. I don't see any of that stuff as well, too, right? You share everything. For me, share as much as you can is the key. Fee waiver again is automatic. So if you plug in it'll ask you for family size, income. Again, you don't have to do the exact number. This is not gonna, they're not gonna hold it against you. This is not FAFSA, right? FAFSA is the application for federal aid. This is just a rough estimate. This will qualify you have fee waivers or not. It's pretty much it. If your family is under a certain number or a certain like combination, it's automatic on the page. You'll say, hey, you qualify, here's 4 schools for free, right? If you don't see that, hey, you get 4 free, you didn't qualify, you made too much as well too. So you apply to all the schools here. You can select all the schools. Keep in mind, all 9 UCs use the same application. As a result, do not say, I want to go to X school, because all the schools will see that, right? That's it. If you pay per school, it's $80 per UC campus. There's majors of main majors and alternates. The only school without an alternate is UCLA. UCLA does not have that as well. San Diego has their college ranking system. When it comes to academics, you're going to share your middle school information, all the high schools. So if you went to UC Scout, BYU, Silicon Valley, you add all those schools to this section as well too. You share, you add all the information you did. If you did dual enrollment, you're going to add a college you went to and add all the classes there as well too. There is going to be an academic comment section for anything else you want to share academically. So course access, school disruptions, grade differences, you want to share that. Don't talk about essays. Don't link anything as a key. Okay. Do not show your test scores. They don't want to know it. They say don't do it. Don't do it as well too. Share your AP exams, everything as well too. When it comes to activities, there's 20 slots. There's 20 slots of activities. We like to recommend as much as you can is a key. You put it under one of 6 categories. The categories doesn't matter. Put it into whatever one you feel it makes the most sense to put it under. That's it. There's no right or wrong area here. Put everything here. The most important thing is the blurb, right? Make sure the blurb tells the readers who you are. There's gonna be a scholarship section. Not really. It's more like a select everything that matters, and they'll explain to you. They'll send you some freebies if it applies. And the essay question. Oop, did I miss the essay? Oh, I forgot to write the essay. There's an essay section. I really missed it. Maybe do it the PIQs, but there's an essay section where you share 4 of the 8 essays. You put it over here, and there's additional comments. Anything else that you want to share is in here as well too, right? Then you sign the agreement saying that you didn't lie, you didn't use AI, all that fun stuff as well too. Okay, so that's that final section. PIQs, right? So this is really good for seniors, and for everyone else, good to kind of know as well too. There are 8 prompts to pick from. You pick 4 of 8. Each prompt maximum 350 words. We like to recommend 330 or higher, so stay to the limit of each one. They're not essays. The best way I would say it is they treat it as an interview. That's kind of the big thing over here, right? One of the cool things you'll see as I go through this, for those who haven't followed us for a while, the UCs, I don't know if someone's been watching our trainings over the last year, but a lot of things they teach is literally from our videos that we've been talking about the last year as well too, right? So it's that. There's 8 prompts you pick from. First one's leadership, second one's creativity, third one's talent or skill, 4 is barrier, 5 significant challenge, 6 is subject that inspires you, 7 is community better place, 8 what makes you stand out. They're all the same. They're all kind of equal. There's no prompt that's better than each other, is the key there. Okay. Next one is how and why did they use it, right? This is to tell me as a reader, understanding who you are is the key outside of just your resume in classes. Because again, everyone has classes, everyone has resumes. So for me, as who's the person behind the things is the key as well. And then again, how to select the right prompts. Pick the prompts that comes naturally to the student, right? Focus on you, not anything else. Here's the other key. Every PIQ should say something new about you. Don't talk about the same thing 4 times, right? If you talk about, I love dance, I'm a dance captain, I taught my dance crew, I am a dancer, right? That's all the same thing. Different parts for you as well, right? So here's something. I'm like, wow, did someone watch our trainings? This is literally what we tell students to do, right? If you're starting out, and if you're a senior, by the way, please rush. You have a limited time, but we always tell students, start first with your list of things. Don't look at the questions first. Look at the things you want to share. What are the 4 things you want the reader to know about you? Then you match it to the prompts as well too. Then you work backwards. Ooh, that's very, very cool. Very cool. Whoever did training, they probably watched our trainings as well too, right? The key is you want to get straight to the point of the whole thing. I want new insights about the student. Answer the question. Be personal, reflective, and connected, right? I don't care about the thing. That's kind of high level tip, right? If you focus, if I read it and I understand, oh, you did this, that's what happened. I want to understand why you did what you did, how it made you who you are, who have you become as a result. Those are the 3 things as a reader I'd be looking for. Okay. Encourage. See, I said this too in the training. I think like, literally, I think they're watching me. So someone who did this training watch our trainings, right? I tell students on their first draft to make it super simple. Literally on your phone, record yourself answering the question. Oh, my greatest skill is blah 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 blah. I did blah 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 blah, and transcribe that, and that is your first draft. Boom, they said that exactly verbatim as well too. Avoid, these are things I tell students do not do. No rhetorical questions, no famous quotes, no definitions, no hooks, no intros. Don't use big words as well too. Everything is boom to the point as well. Use conversational. Encourage I, me, and my statement as well too. Stu is the main character, right? Reflection. See, literally, if you watch, if you been binge our UC trainings the last few months, you'll see literally everything they taught out loud was exactly what we have been teaching as well too. This is new though. This is UC's, not us. CPR, right? This is them. Conversational, personal, and relevant. I might steal that. That's actually pretty good, right? CPR, conversational, personal, and relevant. I have samples. I don't have time to go through them because I have 2 minutes to go, but I put samples for you guys of actual essays as well too over here. And right, we shared it was good or bad. So essays, it's not like good, bad, rejection. It's added value, missed opportunity. You want all 4 to be added value is kind of what you want for the readers, right? If it's a missed opportunity, it means I didn't learn much about you in this prompt. So if you read this prompt, you see this is a missed opportunity. It was unclear. They did not focus on overcoming it. They focus on other people than themselves is the key. Okay. Again, so and here's how to fix it is the key. Here's another example that I share with you guys. And again, this was good, value added, because they shared the hardship, the context. Again, when you read it, it'll make sense there. The turning point, they connected it to the academics as well too. I shared another example here for you guys with academics. This was a value added example. This one here was a not so good example as well too. And the purpose of these is to, again, a few things: clarify and share me information that I can't already see on the academics. Because if you keep telling me you're smart and I look at your GPA, I'm like, huh, I see you're smart, right? Then you're good to go. But then I don't need that because I already know that. I want new information is the key. Okay. Do not share links, letters of recs. They do not need to do that. Questions you can ask along the way as well too. Big thing here, AI, right? Use it to brainstorm. Don't use to write. Don't use it to edit as well too. The UC statement says all information must be accurate, complete, and represent my own work and ideas. If you use AI to fix it, you break this thing. You can't sign it with confidence is the thing, right? So again, write it as you. They don't want robots. Last section is the additional comments. This is anything else that you want to share. So a few things we have you guys like to think of like, here's the issue. Like, hey, my school had 4 principals, frequent changes. Oh, that would explain blah, 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 right? So you see like these were explain stuff, right? Our school cut the team, which ended my commitment to the sport. Oh, wow. That gave me context. So these would give me context to understand is the key here. Okay. Holy moly, 50 pages. I skimmed through a good chunk of it, but it's still a lot more that I have to do. So really quick, if you guys, first off, was this good? Was this good? You guys like it? Drop a yes in the chat if this was useful. You learned at least one thing. You learned at least one thing. That's all I ask. You learn one thing, but more importantly, the other thing, can I get like all capital yes if you can implement it? Whatever, learning is one part, but if you can do something with, that's all I ask. Do something with the information, right? Take one thing, and it's a lot of information, so you're gonna get freaked out and not do anything. But take one thing you learn, do it. If you're a senior, fix an essay with one of the things that you learned about. If you're a younger student, plan out your classes, right? Do one thing, capital yes. It's awesome. So quick takeaway, that's pretty much it for this training. If you opted in to register for this training, you will get the doc as a gift from us to you. Check your inbox. Give me a day or two, so not right away, but soon. If you're one of our coaching students, you'll get it. It'll be inside our private community. And then if you haven't opted in yet, text our team, or if you're watching the replay right now, there'll be a link down below. Click on that, and our team will grab you the replay, the doc as well too. All right, that's pretty much it for me. I do have to bounce. Thank you everyone for joining me today, and I'll see you guys on the next training. Chat soon, everyone.